Hey guys, this is Justin at the Survivor Review, and today I have some Blu-ray pickups to show you guys. Now, these were kind of acquired over the last few months. Like, the first couple that I got in July. This is kind of just stuff I've picked up over the time, because I've picked up a handful of things, and got some really cool stuff to show you guys. Pretty much every pickup is a horror movie, or at least horror-related. So they all kind of go together pretty well. And some of this is kind of a follow-up to the pickup video I did a few months back where I picked up some Scream Factory titles that were going out of print. Because I got a few more Scream Factory titles that are going out of print. But before I get to those, I want to start with this first one I got back in mid-July. It's an Arrow release that had gone out of print, but for some reason Amazon got a few copies back in stock. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get that. And that is the limited edition of An American Werewolf in London. Now, I love this movie. This is one of the best werewolf movies. It's just a great, fantastic film. Sam and I have actually reviewed this before on our channel, and I really wanted to get the Arrow release and just never got around to picking it up. But now I was able to. This is the big set that comes in the slip box and includes a booklet and a poster. You can still get the standard release. You can still get that. I reversed the artwork because Arrow releases, just like Scream Factory releases, have reversible artwork. You can still buy the standard release. It's widely available, but this is the limited edition that comes in this nice snazzy slip box here. I really like the slip boxes on the Arrow releases. I know I'm late to the party because I only have one other release like this. It's the RoboCop one that I got for Christmas. But I love these nice, sturdy boxes. They look great on the shelf. It's fantastic. I will say my copy, though, did come a bit damaged. You got big cut right there, and kind of bumps right there. It was kind of smushed a little. But I realized there's really no point in returning this to get another one because this was just part of a random bunch of copies that Amazon got back in stock. So I had a feeling that I wouldn't be getting anything better in return. So I kind of just said, I'll live with it. At least I have it. At least I have this version. It's better than nothing. I'd rather have a damaged one than not have one at all. So the back here, I still have the plastic sleeve on here. I didn't take that off yet. We got the back there with all the information. Inside here, you got the Blu-ray. Like I said, I reversed the artwork to have the original poster, which looks really nice. It looks really cool. Back there, look at all those features. There's a lot of good features on this set. And it's a good looking Blu-ray too. I actually recently rewatched it. And then inside there, so taking out the disc and the kind of stuff here, you can see the reversible artwork, which is just the artwork that's on the limited edition cover, which is not bad artwork. I like it, but I really like the original poster art. And then inside it also has some lobby cards and an advertisement for more Arrow releases. But it has a bunch of lobby cards here. Just shots from the movie, which is really cool. These are pretty nice. Again. Go. And then inside here, taking this out, you have the booklet right there. It's really interesting. This uses the artwork from this set of slipcovers that Walmart had an exclusive. That were these glow-in-the-dark slipcovers that they did for a bunch of their horror releases, including the Universal Monster movies. In fact, I actually have a few of them because my brother bought all these and he didn't want to keep the slipcovers, so I just took them. But it's kind of weird choice for Arrow to kind of choose that artwork that's taken from these slipcovers that Walmart did. But interesting, I just kind of thought that was kind of a funny little thing that I noticed. But inside here, you got there's a bunch of behind the scenes photos and essays talking about the movie, talking about the actors and everything. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty nice looking booklet there. And then you have the poster here, which is a double-sided poster that has the new artwork right there, and the original artwork, which for this they used the original UK poster art for the movie, not the US release with the two main characters on it. Who's that? So yeah, really awesome. I'm really glad to have this set. I'm really glad to have this movie in general on Blu-ray because it's just a great movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies and favorite werewolf films. So I'm glad to have this Arrow set. It's really nice and really awesome. So now we move on to Scream Factory titles. These are titles that are going out of print because they seem to be losing their license from a lot of MGM titles, so a lot of those are starting to go out of print. Starting with one that I actually mentioned in my last video. This was actually a complete surprise. Was not expecting this, because this was actually a birthday gift from Sam. He watched my last video and saw that I mentioned that I missed out on the Monkey Shines Blu-ray. That was one that went out of print before I was able to get it, and it was one that I really wanted to get because it's a movie I really enjoy. So he found me a copy of it, which is just so cool, so unexpected, and I love it. It's a great gift. This is just a very entertaining movie from George Romero, and I'm really glad to have it on Blu-ray. So you got the front right there, you got the back, you got the spine. This is not a collector's edition, it's just a standard release. What's even cool is that it still has reversible artwork on here, so the disc right there, and the reversible artwork here, which is really kind of crazy because this is something I didn't notice. I had this movie on VHS, and this reverse artwork here is the artwork that's on the VHS. It's slightly different. It's just the monkey looks a lot more maniacal and evil. And I never noticed that the artwork on the VHS was different than the poster. I thought they were just the same artwork, but I didn't notice that they were different. So yeah, that was really cool surprise. I'm still going to keep with the classic theatrical art. I'm not going to swap them. I have the VHS if I want to look at the other artwork. And I kind of like having the more simple kind of like shot of just the monkey standing there. Like, I like that artwork. So yeah, I was really glad to be able to get a copy of this. Thank you, Sam, for that. That was an amazing gift and a big surprise. And I'm glad to have it. So, moving on, you got the Michael Mann classic. Well, not classic, because it's not a very well-known movie. Cult classic, I guess you'd say? Manhunter. The first movie to have Hannibal Lecter in it. This is the adaptation of Red Dragon that was made before Silence of the Lambs. This is a great movie. Very underrated. It's really good. I highly recommend it. And yeah, this is another release I was really wanting to get because I enjoy this movie so much. I really wanted to get a really nice Blu-ray release on here. And this is a really good one. I actually watched this one again recently. Really good looking transfer. Yeah, it's the front right there. It's the back. And you got to the spine. Now this is a movie I did review at some point. We actually also reviewed Monkey Shines as well. A lot of these movies we actually have talked about. In fact, I think almost all except one of these movies we talked about on this channel before, which is kind of cool. This one I did do a review of back in like 2013, like right before the TV show began. It's one of the really early reviews on this channel, and it's not very good. I don't really recommend checking it out. And it's definitely a movie, though, that I want to revisit at some point. I'd love to talk about this again, do a more updated video. It's a lot less cringy, it's not going to be a cringy high school student trying to talk about this movie. I really would love to talk about this again at some point, because like I said, it's a fantastic movie. And this is a 2-disc set, because it has the theatrical cut and the director's cut, which is pretty awesome. Both discs right there. Very cool. Theatrical's on the first disc, and the director's cut is on the second. And there's a lot of really good bonus features on it, too. I kind of watched through some of them. And then, of course, you have the alternate artwork, which is the original poster. Which is that right there. It looks pretty nice. I think I'm going to keep with this artwork on the front, because usually when I get these releases with like the slipcover, I always like to swap it and have the original poster on the inside, because then I have the slipcover on the outside. But since I don't have the slipcover, I'm always kind of like torn, like what do I do? Do I keep the new artwork? Do I keep the old artwork? I actually like this new artwork. I think it's actually pretty good. So I think I'm going to keep this on the front because this artwork's fine. I've never been the hugest fan of the poster. I always thought the poster looked really kind of cheesy. But seeing the kind of slightly cropped version that's on the cover here, it actually looks pretty good. I guess the artwork looks a lot better than it does in the poster to me. But I still think I'm going to keep with this artwork for the front. Like, I like this artwork pretty well. So yeah, I'm really glad to have this. It makes me want to go pick up the other Hannibal Lecter movies on Blu-ray. I have them all on DVD. I guess I should also say that some of these are upgrades. American Werewolf in London is an upgrade. I do have that on DVD. I don't own Monkey Shine, so there's that. And I actually don't own this one either. So I have the rest of the Hannibal Lecter movies on DVD. I'd love to pick up the Blu-rays of the other ones, especially, well, mainly Silence of the Lambs. I want to get the Criterion release of that. But yeah, awesome release for a very underrated movie that's definitely worth checking out. And our next movie, another one that Sam and I did for our Halloween review series, a great, weird, wild movie from the late, great Stuart Gordon, From Beyond. this movie's insane. Like, Sam and I talked about it. It's a crazy movie. So I knew I had to get this one before it went out of print. This one was one that kind of just dropped all of a sudden. They're just like, oh, by the way, From Beyond's going out of print. Like, they released a list of stuff. They had, like, Manhunter on there that's like, oh, yeah, these are going out of print soon. But then all of a sudden they dropped this one. And then I got lucky, and it was actually going for a really good price on Amazon. So I was like, oh, crap, yeah. And I just immediately jumped on it. I'm like, I can't miss out on this. So you got the front there. That's the back. Yeah, it's the spine. Yeah, this is a great movie. This is a 2-disc set. This is a Blu-ray DVD combo. This is one of the earliest Scream Factory releases, back when they did Blu-ray DVD combo packs. So, you got the Blu-ray or DVD right there, and you got the Blu-ray right there. Now, this is the exact opposite of Manhunter, where I'm really not a fan of this artwork. I honestly don't like it, and I think it looks really amateurish. Like, I don't know, it's too busy. The artwork looks kind of cheap. Like, I don't know, to me, I really don't like this artwork. So this one, for sure, I am switching for the original theatrical arts. Because that's, you know, not the most amazing thing in the world, but I like it. It's fitting, and looks a lot better than the artwork they gave on that one. I mean, I guess I could give them a pass, because this is an early Scream Factory release. So they probably, like, didn't have as much resources at their disposal, you know, because they were just starting out, and they probably thought that was cool because it looked different, but to me that artwork just looks really cheap and really bad, so I'm sticking with this for the artwork because this looks 10 times better than that. So yeah, really happy I got this, although it really makes me want to pick up Reanimator because I don't have that one at all, and you need to have Reanimator, especially if you have From Beyond. Those two movies just go together so perfectly. But yeah, From Beyond, awesome movie. So that's the Scream Factory out-of-print titles that I picked up. Got a few of them. It's kind of crazy that in the last few months I've acquired many more Scream Factory titles than I've gotten in the past few years. Because like I said, I just never got around to picking up a lot of them, and now I'm in a rush to get them because they're going out of print. So everyone who bought these when they first came out, smart move, but I didn't follow suit on that. So my next pickup is one that's kind of not completely horror, but it has kind of horror elements to it. I actually bought this at my local Family Video that's going out of business. Pretty much every Family Video in my area is actually going out of business, which is, it just feels like an end of an era, really. It's kind of a bummer, but this Family Video was kind of nuts. It had a big location, and then they just condensed it down to the building right next door, and it was really sad just to see it condensed. And when I walked in there for the first time in the condensed location, it was even sadder because it just felt like one room with like 3-4 rows of movies. And you're like, this is depressing. But when I was there, I picked up The Lighthouse. Well, for $5, I figured why not? It has the slipcover. That was kind of the big deciding factor. I just figured why not? This is a wild movie. I mean, I did talk about this on my Best of the Year list video, but I didn't do an actual full review on it. But I really like this movie. It's really crazy, just really different, I guess we'll say. I love the slipcover here on the artwork, how the lighthouse is at the bottom corner there. Like, it has a little bit of a shine to it. The slipcover, it's a little bit beat up, mainly in that the bottom has, you can kind of see a little bit of the tears there. But you know what, it's actually not too bad. It's in pretty solid shape. The front right there. Back right to there. Spine. This side here, it actually came with the digital copy, which I was kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting that. And inside here with the disc. Right there. So yeah, I was glad I was able to get that for $5. I figured that was a good price for this movie. You know, I was kind of like going back and forth. I'm like, should I get it or should I just wait to see if it'll go on sale on Black Friday? That's how I was with most of the newer movies they had there. Because there were a couple I was like, oh, I don't have that yet. But I was like, probably be on sale on Black Friday, so there's really no point. With this one, I'm like, you know, I'm not sure if it will because it's not as big of a title. Also, like, I'm not guaranteed to get a slipcover, so I figured it's worth it. This is definitely a movie I need to watch again. I've only saw it the one time, and I definitely need to get it one more watch to fully take everything in. It's a fascinating movie. Also, just gotta say, RIP Family Video. I think other locations are still around, because I'm still getting emails with, like, half-off movies and stuff like that, even though my locations are closed. But it's a bummer to see it go. Like I said, it's the end of an era, and it's unfortunate. So the last two movies that I got are definitely impulse buys. They're not limited, they're not going out of print, they're not rare, or I didn't get them at a place that was going out of business. I mainly got them because I pre-ordered a new release coming from Severin Films of a movie that unofficially has relations to this series, and I figured I might as well get the rest of the series on Blu-ray just to have the complete collection, and that is Jaws 2 and Jaws the Revenge. Now, I've mentioned this many times, the original Jaws is my favorite film of all time. I have the digibook from Best Buy. I got the Blu-ray release of that. And honestly, the franchise as a whole is very nostalgic for me because when I was a kid and I was getting into Jaws, I didn't just get into the first movie, I got into all the sequels, and I liked them, kind of, when I was younger. I don't know. I watched them a lot, and Jaws 3, as I mentioned before on the channel, was my favorite sequel. I watched it all the time. It might have even been my favorite Jaws movie at one point. So when all these sequels were announced as coming out on Blu-ray, and that Jaws 3 was going to be released in 3D, I actually picked that one up right away. So I already own Jaws 3, because I really wanted to get the 3D version and check that out, because why not? And then the other two sequels, I'm like, I'll get them at some point. I got them on DVD, so I was like, that's good enough for me, you know, I don't need them. But with the new release from Severin of Cruel Jaws, the Italian Jaws ripoff, coming out, I was like, you know what? I gotta get the rest of the movies. So I did pick up Jaws 2 and Jaws the Revenge. So let's first take a look at Jaws 2 here. One of the things I love the most about these is that Universal actually used the original poster arts, which I wasn't expecting them to do. I thought they'd just do some sort of crappy modern artwork, like they did for the DVDs, because the DVDs had these like modern-looking artwork on them, which are okay, but nothing though compares to a giant shark popping up behind a skier. Like, that is great. It's so cheesy. I love it. The back artwork there. This ports over all the bonus features from the DVDs. So everything you get on the DVDs, you're getting on the Blu-ray, which is nice. There are actually some decent bonus features on the Jaws 2 release. It's like pretty good making of documentary and everything. Like, they actually put effort into this, and not the later sequels, which is obvious why they wouldn't. But it's nice to see they actually put a little bit of effort on here. It's pretty nice. And then you got Jaws the Revenge. Again, original poster art. Love it. That just looks so cool. Like, even for such a crappy movie like this, that just looks so fantastic. That's the back right there. And then you have the spine. And the disc, which looks just like the Jaws 2 one. Now, what's also great about these releases is the fact that all the artwork matches, which is even greater. Like, if you had the standard Blu-ray release of the first Jaws, it's the same exact thing as this. Like, it's just their classic poster art. So, like, on shelf, it doesn't look as good with the digibook, but you get what I mean. On shelf, everything just looks nice. It's all uniform. It's like the red logo and the white background. It looks really good and really uniform. Like, I really like that. Actually, it's something I really appreciate that they did. For movies, they could just, like, half-ass their releases and just threw whatever they wanted as the cover. They really could have just recycled this and have it not match this at all, and they probably wouldn't have cared because it's the Jaws sequels. Who gives a crap? You know, but I'm glad they went that extra mile to actually, like, make the artwork match. It's pretty nice. So even though these weren't on sale or anything, I'm glad to have picked these up so I can have the entire official series on Blu-ray. I think it's pretty cool. Makes me happy. I know other people probably wouldn't care because, like, you know, they wouldn't want movies like Jaws the Revenge or anything. I mean, I still do have a little bit of nostalgia for Jaws the Revenge, even though this one's it's really not good, and like I can put on Jaws 3 and have a good time watching it because of my nostalgia for it. I think it's kind of like a fun, crappy movie. Jaws Revenge, not so much. You know, that one's more bad, but I still a little bit of nostalgia for some of it. And I will say though, if you do want to get the Jaws sequels on Blu-ray, but don't want to buy them individually or pay for all that, there is a new release coming out that's a 3-pack of all 3 sequels. That's actually going for a pretty good price. It's like $14.99. It was actually $5 cheaper than it was for me to buy the 2 of these. So that's a pretty good option if you want the Jaws sequels but don't want them to take up too much space on your shelf. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with these taking up space, just like I said, because of my nostalgia for them. So I'm okay with that, and I didn't mind paying a little bit extra to get these 2 since I already had the individual release of Jaws 3. That's a good cost-saving method to get all the sequels. It is just the individual discs, so it has all the same features as these ones do. It has the bonus features from 2 and the 3D version from 3. And this one actually has the original ending as a bonus feature. And they don't mention it on the back, but it does, so that's cool. So yeah, that's all my recent pickups. A lot of really good stuff. Mainly stuff that was limited or going out of print, which is why I bought so many right away. I wouldn't have bought that many movies if that wasn't what was happening. But yeah, I got a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of good stuff I want to revisit and rewatch, and stuff meant to complete collections. So yeah, a really good pickup with a lot of great stuff. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.